We have a very special guest, All That Is Metal, Jason McMaster, on the phone. He's been the vocalist for several bands, including Dangerous Toys. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What was it like working with Max Norman, who also produced Ozzy and Megadeth?
It was an honor in the way that I'm a huge fan of a lot of the heavy metal and hard rock stuff that he had produced. We ended up putting him on a short list of producers when the band was picked up, and luckily we ended up with him. The story was we kind of decided on him. We were in San Antonio. The band was a very new project. We were in the hotel room just kind of hanging out before the show and listening to the radio, and this new band called Dirty Looks came on, and that was their first record they had with real distribution, and it was just sounded amazing, and it was exactly how we kind of wanted to sound, or how we needed to sound, or how we thought we needed to sound anyway.
Nice.
And so we went out and bought the record and found out it was Max Norman, and we were all already fans of Max's, and no wonder this sounds great. We've got to put him on the list, and we finally, it was kind of a dream come true to work with someone like him, because he recorded all the Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads. He did Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, which is classic. Randy Rhoads rewrote the book of rock guitar, and Rudy Sarzo, and the singer of Black Sabbath, and so Max Norman is kind of sort of legendary. You don't even have to say anything else after you say that he made those records for Ozzy. So heard a lot of Randy Rhoads stories, which was really cool to just be working with a guy, and we'd take a break and go have dinner or something, and he would just we'd get to ask him questions about Randy, and just turn into fanboy real quick. It was fun.
And then when did you find out you were going to be conducted into the Texas Hall of Fame, and what were your initial thoughts when you found out?
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, the funny thing is that Texas Music Hall of Fame, are you asking about the one in Austin?
Yes.
Yeah. That is probably nothing more than a filing cabinet downtown in the office of the Austin Chronicle magazine. It's probably not a building or a wing that they built onto the Capitol or anything like that. But it's still an honor, because the other inductees are mainly folk singers and country stars and things like that. And I like to think that I'm one of the Texas metal ambassadors, and probably the only one in the Texas Music Hall of Fame as far as being from Austin or a regional artist. Willie Nelson and Stevie Ray Vaughan and people like that are in there, which is completely incredible that my name is next to legendary institution, artists like that. Proud, and that's really about it. I got an award in a $5 frame, and it's hanging on the wall at my mom's house.
It's great to be next to those people with all that credibility, and to be in the same category. What do you think has been the wildest band that you've played with so far?
No, not any. I don't really have any stories where anything crazy was going on. My touring experiences have been great, and I'm able to say that I've toured with my idols, and not really anything crazy. I've seen Lemmy wear Speedos, flip-flops and Speedos in a lounge chair outside the front of his bus, and the marquee in the front of his bus said "Slow Death," and he's drinking Jack Daniels and chain smoking in a lawn chair in front of his bus. Great photograph, Lemmy wearing Speedos. Pretty funny.
I love him. He's at the Rainbow Bar all the time on Sunset, just playing poker machines. He's such a funny guy.
He's one of the smartest people I'd like to think that he's one of the smartest people that I ever met. He's really kind of like a big kid, but he's also got that English gentleman thing about him, and he's very inspirational to me because, you know, obviously rock and roll is not just for young people. So it's an important thing to kind of look at someone who's, you know, partied his ass off his entire life and is still, I mean, I think the rock and roll has kept him young and has kept him as healthy as he needs to be able to write songs, make records, go on tour, and kick ass every night. Doesn't seem like it's really about the money for him. You know, he never really had that huge of a hit. I mean, his band is a cult icon and an institution more so than he is a pop star, you know. And it's very inspirational, and I think people need to kind of covet that idea that Lemmy has about life and rock and roll. I mean, you know, they don't have to be the same religion that he is, but just the religion of Lemmy is enough.
I like that's a new book, Religion of Lemmy. So which cover band that you've played in did you enjoy their music more while growing up, Kiss or Metallica?
You know, that's a hard one because Kiss was my earliest obsession as far as rock and roll goes and things that were a little more bombastic. I think the first batch of records or the first artist I was totally encompassed by was Elton John.
Oh, nice.
And then it was Queen, and then Kiss, and then I pretty much started getting into everything. But you know, the old '70s Elton John stuff, the old '70s Queen stuff, the old '70s Kiss stuff is, you don't really need to go anywhere other than that. You know, maybe Beatles and Rolling Stones, and then Sex Pistols and Ramones. You know, as far as, you know, where rock and roll was going and how far it could go with still the basic, you know, 2 or 3 chords. You know, trying to stay simple with just a couple of chords and one bass note, and, you know, a couple of fun lyrics, and have a career of 30, 40 years was kind of the charm that all of the bands that I just mentioned, you know, maybe a little bit more involved with the Elton John and Queen as far as progressive music, but I think Kiss and Metallica come at an even, kind of compete evenly with my For My Heart.
So it's kind of a tie.
When the Kill 'Em All record came out, that kind of changed the face of rock forever, because it showed me that you could play real fast and have a lot of fun and still be a decent musician, and also have a lot of punk influence and things like that. And Metallica introduced a lot of people to a lot of underground bands, you know, like Motorhead and the Misfits and things like that, just because, you know, this is where we're getting all of this from. It's no secret. You guys should know about these bands, and so, you know, we're going to wear our, I'm all about wearing your influence on your sleeve.
Okay, so Jason, we've got one more question on Metal Sludge. I don't know if you go to that disgusting little fun gossip board, but you were actually voted as one of the top singers who hasn't lost it. What's your secret to still having it?
Well, Metal Sludge, it's hard to say because, you know, I remember they asked me a question one time, you know, trying to get me to talk crap about the record label I was on at the time, and I don't really think that that's very professional, of course.
Yeah.
We're talking about Metal Sludge, and they're not trying to be professional, but I try to be coy all the time, so I answered that question with, well, you know, as good or bad as they are for my career, they're doing more for my career than this interview will ever do.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, and they enjoyed my answers as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I would like to think that they're, you know, talking about me being in the business for going on almost person. Get up there and go for it and put on a show, whether it be for 5 people or 5,000. Yeah, and I'm not crippled or not addicted. Yeah, like you said, and I would like to think that they're talking about my vocals. Like my musicianship is still there, and I feel like I just get better.
That's awesome.
The more I do it, and I mean, it's kind of the same thing I've been doing forever. I mean, that's how you get good at anything. But every show that I do has a slightly different spin on it because of who or what or where I am. Who's in the room, where I am. What's hanging on the wall. Because being inspired by people, even though you're playing the same set of songs pretty much every night. Getting people to react to what you're doing, and having a good time, yet taking yourself seriously is hopefully what they're talking about, as well as my vocal talents, and not being able to walk away going, man, he just didn't hit that one note I wanted him to hit tonight.
No one wants their money back.
No one wants their money back. McMaster delivered again, so I'm fine. And
thank you so much, Jason, for taking time out and coming on the show.
Very cool. Thank you for your time.